everyone, and welcome to another Monday Motivation. I'm your host, Daniel Krakowski, joined, as always, by Mr. Crew Cut, Goran Vasevich.
And then don't forget my newly adopted son.
What
is the name that we
Roscoe
give him?
Roscoe Leibowitz. A.k.a. Isaac Keene. And then also joining us today... Also joining us today, Ryan Schroeder. You don't hear him a lot, but when you do, you're glad he's there.
He's behind the scenes crunching numbers, and now he needed the extra motivation. He looks very tired.
Chewing that gum in the microphone.
Right, yeah. Come on, man. Don't be that guy.
It's like my first time.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
So today, want to start off with a special announcement. We have all the paperwork filed, some stuff still pending. So, we're excited to see that finally come through. Working on getting the website built out, but VSM Commercial has been formed. That LLC now exists.
Woo.
Super excited about that.
Pumped.
I think I'm probably the most excited because now I get to be in a business partnership with these two guys who have been my mentors for the last couple of years, taught me tons and tons about real estate, and are going to continue to teach me more as we move forward in this new venture.
Wow, well, thanks for that. I'm sure Ryan is, did we pay him to say that? Was that paid?
No.
Ryan's like, I expected a little more, actually. But no, I'll take
I was actually disappointed.
So, tying into the Monday Motivation theme, I mean, for me, it's definitely a big jump and something to be a little bit nervous about. There's been some additional stress in my life getting ready for this because, to be honest, I had a pretty cushy gig here at VSM Real Estate. Feel like I got a good grasp of the residential investing side of the market, have a lot of clients built up, have a good residual income kind of coming in with a lot of the people that I work with, et cetera. So now I'm kind of eschewing all of that, passing that over. We do have a replacement identified. We'll not name him yet.
We cannot, yes. But legal purposes.
Yes, but you will see him soon. And,
him or her, we don't know.
Yes.
Or you could also be replaced by a robot.
That's the dream right there.
Beep, beep, boop, beep. Yes.
But, so basically for me, it's at what point, when do you take everything that you have, that feeling of security, that comfort, when you're in a position where you could, theoretically go into coast mode and just kick it all aside, start from scratch to move forward and go into the next point of your vision. And you two were clearly very instrumental in my willingness to do this and your encouragement. So if you wouldn't mind just giving me some insight, what should I expect? You guys did the same thing years back, starting VSM. What do I need to know? What do the people who are considering doing something like this need to know going forward?
Ryan?
It's been done before. You won't be the first. You won't be the last.
Right.
So, I believe that you're capable. You have to believe that you're capable as well. I always think of that Henry Ford quote of "He who believes he can and he who believes he can't are both right." But in terms of what is it like, your friends and your family and your closest confidants, they might poo-poo your idea, tell you that you're crazy. When Goran and I started VSM, we both walked away from a cushy sales job we were making six figures at as well, had the security of a big corporation and all the other kind of stuff, but it wasn't where our passion lied, and it didn't have the upside potential that starting our own business did. So we did decide to jump off of it. I think that first 6 months was definitely the hardest because we gave up an income, had to live off of savings, had to figure a lot out on the fly, which is very difficult, but it's also extremely exciting and
rewarding.
Yeah, and that need to succeed, that whole eat what you kill, if you don't kill anything, you starve kind of mentality was probably the most enjoyable year of my life, was that first year of starting my new business. I think that every business owner and entrepreneur out there tends to long actually for the beginning of when they started it because it is so exciting. The problems that come with owning a business, an established business later, they're just going to become a little bit more complicated. You might not have necessarily the financial woes that you have in that first year, but it'll never be more exciting than this first year. So you actually have quite the treat to look forward to, I would say.
Awesome. Take the scary part and make that the gift.
Yeah, no, I think that's very well put. You said a phrase, coast mode. So I'm going to jump ahead because right now we had an opportunity to go coast mode a few times in the past, let's say 3 or 4 years. But, that's just not in our nature, not in our blood. That's not what makes life exciting, which is why we want to challenge ourselves constantly. I think the fact that you see that is rubbing off on you and you're like, hey, I'm comfortable, but look at these guys. They're the same way, but they keep, going into uncharted territories, different businesses, different ventures, partnerships, etc. Because to me, ultimately, that's, what life is about. It's really that journey. It's not about what happens at the end, because at the end, you're just like, what do I do next?
Right.
And that's what I look forward to, and that's what I think you should look forward to. This is not going to be your last thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
That's my hope.
Right. This is just, one out of, who knows, maybe 10, 20, 30 things that, transpire through. But I think you're doing the right thing because you're exploring different options and getting outside of your comfort zone. And who knows? You may have to revisit where you're at now, but that's okay too, because you're going to learn a lot, even though I don't think so, because you're just a straight killer. And no matter what you do, you're going to be really successful. We're going to be there. What was his name again?
Roscoe.
Roscoe will be there as well, documenting the journey. I can't wait to see and hear the Krakowski Real Estate or Commercial Real Estate Hour.
Yeah, get ready for a new podcast, everyone. It's going to be coming out. We're going to be focusing on just commercial real estate investing.
Facebook Live, Instagram Live is going to be nuts.
Yeah, crazy new things are coming. So, I mean, I kind of had a realization yesterday where, it's a less familiar industry. A lot of the connections that I already have aren't benefiting me in the same way that they used to, or they could in the residential side of the business. So going back to just, if you ever listen to Bigger Pockets, you're on the forums, a lot of the ways that they describe how do you get your first investment property, something that I did a while ago, and I'm comfortable, I think I have 5 or 6 right now in varying states of ownership, either selling them, continuing to hold them as rentals, but concepts that were very intimidating back then. I need to go back and reapply all of that kind of stuff. So I spent 4 or 5 hours yesterday just driving around in Northeast Minneapolis looking for warehouses that were in not very good shape, writing down the addresses, going to the Secretary of State's website, finding out who the licensed agent is to that business, calling them, emailing them, sending them direct mail if I didn't have a phone number, anything like that, and just trying to hustle up deals from the very, very, very basic, hey, I don't know anybody potentially methodology to try and create something.
Absolutely. I mean, that rudimentary, just get your hands dirty and get in there method of drumming up business is the tried and true. There's no silver bullet to success, and especially in commercial real estate, it is a longer sales cycle. It is a competitive market. But again, you just have to believe in yourself that, between your skills, your aptitude for learning, and your ambition, that you're going to be able to make it work. And I have full faith in your ability as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, to tag on to that is really, I walked by his office just 30 minutes ago, and he has a pen and a piece of paper, and he's writing things on a notepad. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He was like, I'm writing a letter. I'm like, is this a joke? Are you just making fun of me or something? And he was like, no, I'm writing a letter to a potential seller, letting him know that I want to buy his piece of real estate. I'm just going to go low tech and see what happens. And I was like,
it was an 80-year-old guy.
Right. I was like, that's going to be the story that gets
email.
It.
Yeah. So hopefully that, I think people want to be communicated with in the way that they're used to communicating. And I mean, using my grandpa's experience, loves getting mail. So hopefully this gentleman does exciting. As well. Yeah.
You never know what it is. Well, now it's usually junk, but it's kind of like Amazon. A lot of people order stuff from Amazon. You're like, oh, it's Christmas every day because you're getting presents. So yeah. I think a handwritten letter, if you get it now, you have the shock, like, what is this? Why does somebody write me a letter?
Is there anthrax in here?
Right, you would definitely think a lot more, harder and longer than some typed up generic thing that we also get for agents trying to buy or help us sell real estate. I'm like, wow, dude, you did 0 zero research. You just blasted off 1,000 letters, and you just wasted a bunch of money and time. But I'm glad you did that.
And exactly what you said. There's somewhere in the middle. I need to find the balance because I probably spent 45 minutes researching this gentleman before I wrote him a letter. So I had an hour into this one communication that, in all likelihood, he's just going to go, and throw it in the garbage. But 1% of the time, he's going to call me.
There's always that chance, and you want to have all your bases covered.
Right.
Maybe you don't write one letter. You write like 100 letters. Who knows?
The thing that I really took away from speaking with you guys over the last couple years is you just have to really understand that it's okay just to let go of your security blanket and just go it alone and know. I mean, I'm not completely alone here, of course. I already have contacts in the industry, and I have you guys for support. But, if you really believe that you have the ability to do stuff, then it's just about putting in the work.
Correct.
And that's something that I'm not going to compromise on, and I'm not going to stop doing. So, with your faith behind me, that was all the confidence that I needed to really move forward and do this.
Fortune favors the brave.
Indeed.
Man.
And I actually funny story, I haven't told you guys this, but so I'm driving around Northeast and I see a sign that says BPEX, and I actually have a really close friend who works for that company. He's he's a chemical engineer and a manager there. So I just call him up and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he actually never picks up his phone at work, and he goes, hey, I've been thinking about you all day. It's so random that you called. He's like, we spoke like a couple weeks ago about investing in real estate. And he's like, and now I've read like all these books. I'm on these forums and I'm, listening to all these podcasts. He's like, Grant Cardone is just going through my brain. Yeah. He just goes, who's got my money? Like, that's what he's saying. And what he told me is he's like, I've been going through this and learning about investing, and it's like everything that I've ever been taught in my entire life is wrong. And there's a completely different way to go about doing it. And he's, really smart guy, but he's an immigrant as well, Eastern European, and kind of has that mentality of being conservative, right? And it makes sense, right? A lot of us, and a lot of our parents' generation in particular, have that really conservative mindset about what to do. But it just like really made an impact on me and kind of emboldened me that the people that I associate with and that I trust and that I respect their opinions also tend to come around and think similarly about things where, he's not getting into commercial real estate. He's not starting a new company, but he's like, hey, I've been sitting on this nest egg. What if I took what I consider to be my safety, my security, and I employed that somehow to generate some revenue for me in the future? And I'm just really excited. So I'm gonna be out of the state for the next couple of days. But next weekend we're getting back together. We're gonna put a plan together. He may even consider selling his house, renting somewhere less expensive, buying multiple rental properties with that, and taking it from there. And I'm just like, wow, that's so cool that
you made that impact.
That I'm not only that, but that things that you haven't connected with people in your network about, like there's an inherent similarity in ways of thinking, and you can see value in similar places, even if it's not outwardly visible, because this is not something that we ever talked about. I've known him for over 20 years.
Wow.
So
that's awesome, man.
That was really cool. I was really excited by that as well. So how about you guys? Like, what else? We're probably running a little short on time.
Yeah, we got 30 seconds. Ryan, take it away. What do you need people to know to get motivated for today?
Believe in yourself, because nothing worth doing happens easily. So keep grinding, keep trying, keep learning.
And if people who you respect believe in you, you better believe in yourself too.
Bam.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.